Hey everybody, welcome to the channel panel emerging from Beyond the Unknown 2016. This channel panel is going to be an amazing two-day event for all of you who are joining. We have 7 amazing channelers today. We have a lot of information channeled going to be passed through and connected to and transmuted to all energies of co-creation this day. The channel panel thanks you so much. I myself, Rob Gauthier, the ET Whisperer, I will be also presenting today. But I wanted to just get in here and welcome you. Me and Kalina, as all of you know, are going to be splitting moderating duties, so we're going to be going back and forth. I just wanted to get in and say hello, to put my own energy in for you guys, to let you all know that I'm happy to see all of you guys, and I am so excited about creating with you guys today. I am going to hand off the rest of this beautiful introduction and instructions to the channeler of the Arcturian 103 Collective, Kalina Angell, the most beautiful ball of sunshine in the world, and also a wonderful channeler who will be sharing her own energy with all of you guys collectively today as she helps guide you through this wonderful event. I love you guys, and you will see me on and off throughout the day.
And Rita Melchizedek is an incredible channeler. She channels many beings, many illumined beings. And she is the founder of the Melchizedek and Pleaidian Light Network and Ascension.
For many of us, it's also been a very challenging time to bring us to this now moment, because we're so brave, we're so courageous, we're just these beautiful beings of light, and we've created the pathways of divine love for ourselves and others. And it's often happened through experiencing and embracing the full range of the human emotions. And then as we deepen into the next level of the soul's blossoming and magnificence and light, we are truly able to see the God self within ourselves and the God selves within all life. So it's such a wonderful coming together. I can really just feel that energy as we're starting to connect within our sacred hearts, within our Christed hearts, and to one another, as we come together as one unified cosmic heart. So that was a beautiful introduction. I feel what I'd like to do with us today is work with the many illumined beings, just bring them in, have a sense of some of the frequencies and dimensional energies that we're working with, bring in a deeper sense of the ray frequencies that we're working with, the many Christed ETs, and just have a look and see what unfolds as we come together as these beautiful sacred hearts.
Thank you so much, Rita. Well, I'm going to hand it over to you, and then when you bring them into channel upon the theme or anything else that they want to add to, and then I will start asking the questions after that. And thank you so much again for being here.
And thank you. I'm so delighted and excited, and it's just so wonderful to be connecting with all our beautiful soul and star family and friends on the inner planes and certainly on the outer planes. All right, so let's just get ourselves comfortably relaxed. I'm going to just move straight into a transmission. Just start by breathing deep into the body, and I'm going to bring in a little bit of a light language frequency to just activate that as we move into this transmission. Imosono koakino so aino. Imosoko akino so aino. Inkaino sokoa. And as we come together now in this beautiful sacred space as one unified cosmic heart, wherever we are within our sacred spaces and within our Christed hearts, we take a moment now to simply center ourselves, breathing deep into the body, expanding the lower abdomen as you breathe in, contracting the lower abdomen as you breathe out. And just getting a sense of how you feel energetically, deepening into the body, sending love into any area of discomfort within the physical body. As you visualize now this beautiful diamond, golden and white flame of divine love, activate within the heart chakra. Now activate through each one of the chakras, taking you deeper now into the Christed heart. As the energy field starts to expand now, in this beautiful flame of light, link into the unity grid of divine love. This grid of light within you and around you. This matrix of divine love and unity consciousness that takes you into the new earth templatings and the sacred geometries, the numerologies, the fractal geometries, the experience of walking the path of divine love.
Many of you are probably already familiar with John Callie. Many people have seen him from the Tuning In documentary, which was very popular, but John Callie has been channeling for a very long time.
The folks here probably don't know who I am. I'd like to give a very brief history of my channeling background, and then we'll let my spirit guides take over. In the beginning, I had never intended to become a channel. All I really wanted to do was learn to meditate. Back in the early 80s, I was going through a pretty rough patch in my life, and things were kind of tough. A good friend of mine recommended that I start reading some of the Seth books. Seth, as many of you I'm sure know, was the spirit guide for Jane Roberts. So without further ado from me, we'll let the guides, the spirit group that I have, take over. Greetings, everyone. We're delighted to be with you here today, and we love the title Rob and Kalina have given to this gathering, Emerging Beyond the Unknown. That's beautiful. Thank you, Rob and Kalina, for choosing that title. It's very appropriate and timely for these times of transformation that you are all living in today on your planet. It's an exciting time. It really is. Although we know that many humans, maybe even most humans, and even the light workers, you who are listening to this today, find this time full of challenge and even a bit of mystery, perhaps. Years ago, we started using the word blending in our private conversations with Johnny, our channel here, and he mentioned that a moment ago. He was a bit mystified by the word blending back then, and he understands it more fully today, but blending is the word we sometimes use to explain what's happening to humans, all humans on the planet, whether they are spiritually aware or not. Simply it means, or we mean by using that term, that the human you is becoming blended with the spirit you, your higher self, your soul, your divine essence. Again, terms, names don't really matter, but who you truly are. You are all reunited with your true selves. But the word blending is not really an accurate description of what's happening to you today. The reason is blending implies separation. You cannot blend two things that have never been separated. And you have never been separated from your spirit selves, from your higher selves, from your true selves. You and spirit, the spirit part of you, have always been one. The seeming veil, which is a term many humans are fond of using, between your world and the world of spirit is an illusion. That veil is an illusion. It's an illusion created by the fact that your true selves, your higher selves, chose to take on physical form when you incarnated or reincarnated into this lifetime. Most of you listening to this today have had many incarnations over the eons.
Rob Gauthier. Rob Gauthier is known as the E.T. Whisperer. Rob is known as the ET Whisperer because he has the incredible ability to bring in and channel many beings with precision and ease. Rob has channeled many hundreds of ET consciousnesses, with the secondary ability to bring in Archangel consciousnesses as well. The most
Greetings to you all. This is Aridif, that is A-R-I-D-I-F, and this is its spell. We understand that many of you here to co-create have many queries, but before diving into those queries, we must express two things. First of all, above all things expressed in this day from our own perception, you are loved. And this means not only do we send our own love to you, but when an entity expresses the concept that I love you, those are two separate segregated energies that are assuring one another of their connection. In our perception, when you are loved, it is a representation of what the universe is created from, what energy that all things in the physical reality and non-physical alike carry within its own energy. You are loved. Now, the second concept that we wish to cover and express very quickly is the idea of your theme for the day. The emerging beyond the unknown carries connotations that are different for each one of you. Each one of you hear those words and it bounces into either your head or heart in a different way, in a different expression. And in those expressions, there are no wrong answers, but we wish to express our own perception of what we believe that emerging beyond the unknown means within this universal structure. What is an unknown thing? What is an object, a concept, an idea, or a person who is unknown? It is a representation of the consciousness manifesting into physical reality without knowledge of that thing, person, idea, without knowledge of what is going on beyond yourself. In that energy, it is an expression of all physical entities who have incarnated into physical reality for that expression and for that experience, to explore consciousness without connection to source energy, without connection to God. When you perceive God, many of you perceive much different things. In our perception, God is the complete combined essence of all things living and non-living, plus it is having something that is even more than all of this. It is an expression of consciousness and energy. The energy that you place into your excitements for the day is God. The version of yourself that is driving the car, yelling at those who have cut you off, is still God. All of those expressions being a part of something that knows no disconnection.
Serge Grimoire. After doing trance work in a similar manner to Edgar Cayce for a few years back in the early 1980s, Serge began to experience something completely outside his references, something that today is quite common in the channeling world, spontaneous trance, through the energy personality gestalt now known as Crysta. Crysta began to interact with people through Serge, and thus a deep bond was formed.
84, I decided, okay, I've read enough Seth, and I'm channeling to Chris and blah, blah, blah. I'll just write to Jane Roberts. And I just bit the bullet, went out and wrote. Waited a while, and I finally did get, in the late fall of that year, I did get a reply from Rob Butts to tell me that unfortunately, it would now be impossible for me to visit Jane since she had just passed away. So I continued corresponding with Rob, and we had a correspondence going on until very short time before he passed away himself. Now we trust that you are comfortable, and we thank you for your consideration. And indeed, we are most honored for your invitation and to be part of this panel discussion. And of course, the title you have given to the weekend is most enigmatic and very evocative. Because indeed, as the title suggests, emerging beyond the unknown, may be difficult for some to envision. How do you know what is not known? How do you travel through that which is not known if you do not know what is not known? And in so many words, it must be reiterated, and perhaps many times so, that even though you consciously, egoically, logically, and so on, may not have a direct inkling of all of that which is unknown in your experiences, this is only at a specific layer or slice of your experiences. Other than that, what you call the unconscious, you have access to all of that which is known. Because you too are, in your own way, an energy, personality gestalt, or if you like, an energy matrix construction. So you are the soul. You do not have a soul, you are the soul. And you have a specific physical body that you have generated through various belief systems and through the coordination of many aspects and traits and characteristics, perhaps over what you call so many lifetimes, all of which, by the way, exist in this wonderful space you call the present moment, the eternal now, the spacious present.
Shawn Swanson. Shawn is a channel for members of our galactic family, including Ishua of the Yael, Arvantis of the Arcorians, and Encore of the Sasani. Shawn graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of California at Santa Barbara, UCSB. Since 1996, Shawn provides channeling sessions that are a form of consultation and counseling for people interested in spiritual growth, self-empowerment, personal healing, and deepening self-realization.
So
Shawn,
I will channel Ishua of the Yael civilization, and the idea is the Yael may be the first of our galactic family to meet us here on Earth in a very open, public way, in which we are aware that this is going to take place before this takes place, in which we as individuals know within ourselves that this contact is going to take place. And it will take place most probably in a way in which we are all very knowing of who the Yael are, who we will be meeting in this contact, and feel very welcoming, very excited. Wonderful to have this opportunity to share, to interact, to communicate, to explore, to gather in this way, to explore more of the infinite that we all are, more of the unconditional love that is all of our actual nature. The idea as a topic has been shared, emerging from beyond the unknown. For there certainly are an amazing number, infinite number of ways, yes, to emerge from beyond the unknown, to experience therein the emergence from the unknown. That which was perhaps unknown is more of who you are being revealed as you emerge, as we emerge from this idea of the unrecognized, unseen, unexperienced, unknown, into the seen, the realized, the known, moment to moment, moving from unknown, unseen, unrealized, into seen, realized, and known. In this way, there is within the infinite an infinite number of ways for each and all of us to emerge from beyond the unknown. And one of the ideas that our civilization, Yael civilization, that I am a part of, in a sense, born within, born unto, interact with on a daily basis as a human being, just as you and your experience on Earth interact with your human civilization. The idea is connecting more of the unknown of our and your civilization's family relationship, together in this way, interacting through a multitude of ways, through an infinite number of ways, through ways that can be very enjoyable for all of us together and all of us as individuals.
Suze Byler is a certified holistic health practitioner with Spectrum Health Consulting LLC. Suze assists her clients to discover and live their soul mission so that they can enjoy a deeply fulfilling life. She quickly accesses her clients' core issues and offers practical steps for transformation. Suze facilitates the release of emotional pain and teaches self-healing so that her clients can create their lives from a place of true freedom.
So my understanding of all of this is right now we are moving into the unknown. And as we move into the unknown, we as light workers truly do have the power to create anything that we want to create from our hearts. And I do feel like it's time for us as light workers to really claim our power, claim our sovereignty, understand that as powerful creators in a human form, we do have tremendous ability to create something new, something different. And that's why it is the unknown, because we haven't created it maybe in our physical reality yet. And so, dear ones, while you may feel that you are moving into the energies of the unknown, in truth, you are moving into the known. For in your hearts lies the knowing of what you wish to create, what you wish to experience. Within your hearts, there have been dreams and visions. For some of you, these have been dormant. For some of you, these have been quite active. Either way, dear ones, it is time to allow these dreams and visions, these knowings, to come into full realization within your experience. What I mean by this, dear ones, is to no longer allow yourself to put your dreams on the back burner, to no longer allow yourself to sweep your visions under the rug, to wait for a better time, to wait until you have the money, the team around you, the assistance, whatever it is, whatever reason you have created and allowed to hold yourself back. I speak directly with you, dear ones, because it is time. Truly, there is a blank slate awaiting your creations. There is a blank canvas waiting for you, upon which you can put your creations, your heart desires, the knowing of the new earth, the new world, the ascended Gaia.
Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson is also known as the Reality Whisperer, but Brad Johnson is most popular for his channeling of Adronis. And Brad's channeling of Adronis began in December of 2008, where Brad was introduced to the energy of Adronis through the process of automatic writing. Adronis identified himself as a fifth density humanoid consciousness existing within the star system of Sirius A. Throughout Adronis' communications, he has shared that his intentions are to be of service to humanity by sharing his knowledge and wisdom through Brad as a channeling conduit.
I won't go too much into my own detail in regards to the philosophy of tonight's event. I'm going to leave that to Adronis. But again, I'll just give a very brief background about my connection with Adronis as well too. He just represents a higher aspect of myself. He exists in another particular probable reality existing within the star of Sirius A, and which is basically the nose of the dog, which is Canis Major. And I basically began channeling him back in December of 2008. So we're coming up on 8 years of me channeling Adronis now. And basically I was doing a lot of other different types of channeling, just starting to get into channeling collectives. I would go into some very deep trance states as it pertains to meditation. I just didn't feel like I was anywhere in this physical reality anymore when I was going into those deep meditative states when I first started. And I just... Soul Star. Sirius. Adronis. We are here at this time. We bid you greetings and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this broadcast being brought forward through your internet collective consciousness. What we would like all of you to do at this time is simply allow yourselves to get relaxed, get comfortable, and tune in to the vibrations of Sirius so that you may synchronize, harmonize, and align to all the information that we have to share. Also understand that all of the information that we shall provide this evening of your time is simply that of our perspective, our point of view. For all knowledge, all information, all creation itself resides within your very hearts, beings, and souls.
Crysta Reza is an accomplished psychic medium, multidimensional channel, intuitive artist, spiritual teacher, and healer. She is well known internationally. Awakening to the spiritual nature of reality began for Crysta at an early age when she built an altar in her closet at age 9.
Thank you so much, Rob and Kalina, for this amazing opportunity yet again. The energy is so loving. It makes me pretty emotional. And before we begin the channeling Q&A, which is very interactive, the Orion Council loves to communicate with you all through this funny looking device here on the table. And I'm very happy to share with you all that when you are on your path, you will get synchronicities. Oh, Ryan Council here, hold on please. So it is many of us communicating about these questions you have. We are very excited, channel is very excited, and we want you to know that when you ask about unknown dynamics, we have answers. It is because we work beyond these planetary frequencies involved with multiple layers of reality. Crysta is wondering, who is communicating today? Many of us here. We as beings of light work inside of this craft in your atmosphere, but we also work upon planetaries beyond this galaxy. You would say, Orion Council, we thought you were in Orion. Oh, we are also in other galaxies, all right? Thank you. So it is ready to talk about ascension. People on your planet Earth have to recognize that beings are assisting them at this time, realigning themselves to creator frequency, but also Orion Council says that people have not readiness to accept creator. They say, Orion Council, I do not create my reality, I allow other beings to create my reality. It is happening for multiple beings at this time. Resonance is happening to your planet Earth at the same time. These people say, I am not creating this reality, but Earth is creating this reality. Crysta has asked us this multiple times when she is asleep, ready to ask more questions. Yes, all of you, yes?
Mikaela Sheldon is an intuitive channel who has the ability to connect with a variety of guides, interdimensional beings and collectives, including Mary Magdalene, archangels, Jeremiah, the ancients, the ninth dimensional Lemurian and Pleaidian collectives, Arcturians, the Council of Light, and many, many others. Mikaela channels detailed information about our history, structure, ascension, and transition into a fifth dimensional consciousness. Her awakening came during a struggle with debilitating chronic pain. Through her connection to Source and her guides, Mikaela completely healed herself, leaving her mainstream life behind to fully pursue her soul's purpose as a channel. Her mission is to inspire others to fearlessly live their soul's higher purpose and to support lightworkers through a very transitional time in our planet's history. Mikaela also believes she incarnated here in this time as a conduit for lightworkers to identify and activate their collective assignment or signature imprint. She is able to transmit light-coded frequencies and vibrational healings as a vessel for crystalline light through channeled messages and activations. She also is currently channeling a book that explains the history behind human creation, how we were designed to live in our soul's highest expression, and how we will heal and rebirth many aspects of our collective reality. Mikaela is the executive director of the Flower of Life Center for Human Evolution, a volunteer organization focused on raising the consciousness of the planet. In this position, Mikaela works with volunteers on a variety of projects ranging from conscious action initiatives and youth programs to the organization's International Expo magazine. To learn more about Mikaela, you can go to mikaelasheldon.com and be sure to check out her wonderfully popular YouTube channel. Just type in Mikaela Sheldon and it will pop up.
So I'm an intuitive channel, obviously, amongst many brilliant here in this on this panel, and came to my awakening probably about 7 years ago during a struggle with chronic pain, and was not at all in this world, mainstream world, and just started meditating and ended up connecting with my guides, healing myself, and was told very early on that I was here in this life to be a channel. And I met some guides that brilliantly took me on the journey and explained to me what I was here to do, which was to help light workers through a very difficult time on the planet. Many blessings and greetings. We are the ninth dimensional Lemurian Ascension Collective, and the reason that we come in today is very important, as we have been noticing that on your planet there is much movement taking place within the structure of the human consciousness, and we believe that this is a very important theme that you are discussing today, to bring forth some of the energies that we see as being pivotal in the way that you are emerging here as a new form of human consciousness. And as we start today, we wish to acknowledge where you have from where you have come, because at the soul level, many of you have been operating within a very beautiful healing transition, connecting at the level of your soul to unfold before you a beautiful path in which you have been ascending through timelines, experiences that you have had here. And unbeknownst to many of you, you have been using these experiences to also heal the collective in ways that have brought you to where you stand today. And we are ones who truly believe in the reintegration of your planet with this one collective or one consciousness and beyond. And that is truly what is happening in the moment. There is a new collective form or space, or many have alluded to it as a grid, that is available to you in this moment. And this beautiful grid of energy that we wish to speak of holds crystalline shape and form. It is not only a part of you, but it is a part of all of us. So when
Dr. Kelly Coffey, also known as Kelly in the Raw, is one of today's most recognized psychic mediums with channeling abilities. She's been featured in a multitude of radio and TV show interviews, and she is a mega hit YouTube star vlogger where she speaks on a plethora of subjects ranging from spirituality, psychic development. She teaches psychic development courses, even hairstyling, alien implant removal, crystal energy, raw cooking, professional chef style, chakra implant removal, multidimensional healing, and the list goes on.
I was born basically with psychic abilities. I didn't call it that. I called it something's wrong with me because I was Baptist and I didn't understand what was going on. And it was not okay. So I told my mom and she believed me, but she was just like, shh, let's keep this to ourselves. And I did have like one pastor told her that these are spiritual gifts. They're just very rare and very unique. And even at that, it was like, shh, you know, let's not talk to anybody about it. So what we're doing with channeling is just working with energy, and we're making it as simple as possible for you to do this. So channeling, I was when Kalina asked me to do this, I was like, I don't want to channel, because I have a big problem with channeling as far as like if you go to a conference and someone's speaking, you know to take a lot of stuff with a grain of salt. Like, oh, I think that's true, and I think that's a bunch of crap, and I'll accept that, and maybe I'll research that later. So you kind of pick and choose as a human being when you hear a real life person talking. But for some reason, as human beings, when we deal with entities that are on what we perceive as a much higher level than us, which is a level we can easily get to ourselves, that somehow we think they're better than us and they know what's right for us. When the opposite is actually true in this matrix, if you want to call it a matrix. We're all having our own fun. We're all doing our own thing, including these beings above us. So even though they might be good beings, they have their own agenda, and it might not match yours. So you never really know what kind of information is coming, and you don't know if it's true or not. You don't know if you can trust it. And that takes a long time for you to learn if you can trust an entity or not. And some entities will give you a lot of good, factual, trustworthy information for a long time till you trust them. Then they start putting their agenda in there. So I've seen a lot of people's lives. Well, I don't know if their lives were ruined, but a lot of people around them, their lives were ruined as a result of them channeling beings and then following that being, and then saying that everybody around them has to consult with that being, or they can no longer be their friend, or things like that. I've gone through a lot of things where people start channeling, and it's not necessarily the channeling, but how they react to it. That is so devastating on everybody. So I enjoy, Abraham Hicks, and there's Bashar, I've listened to that, and that's freaking awesome advice, but it's like, okay, if you're a human being, I kind of take that and not this. I still do the same thing.
Bob Hickman, also known as Psychic Bob, has been working with spirit for over 25 years. Since childhood, Bob Hickman has had a natural connection with the spirit world. His early years as a psychic were spent helping people who had haunted houses. In his 20s, he joined the spiritualist movement and was trained under various mediums.
I love what I do. It's my passion. It's not a job, it's a calling. And, I think like watching all the mediums today, I see all of us. I said, wow, we all have callings. And, for me as a psychic and a medium, as a channel to be here, I think it's just, I've been uplifted today, I have to tell you, by seeing all the wonderful work. It just affirms me that I'm on the path of a calling, and so many others are. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. And it's really beautiful. And
Greetings, my dears. This is Rose. Can you hear me up there? I do believe I'm in the body now. I must say, I'm so very pleased with dear Alfred over here. Since coming over into our realm of light, he's attained such knowledge and such wisdom. We're very pleased he's working as a guide now for many upon the earth. Many of you out there are saying to yourselves, how do I expand beyond my current reality? How do I give up my fear? How do I find God? How do I find my higher self? My dears, you do very well to ask these questions of yourselves. You see, my mistake was when I was alive on Earth, I never asked the questions. You know, it's true that I was a member of the Church of England, and I used to go and put on a grand show, and I used to give a lot of money to the church. I used to think, well, I wonder if the vicar likes my heart today, you know. Oh, I'll give £1,000 to build a new wing on the church. You see, my religion, and that was what it was religion, was all for show. But what I'd really missed in my earthly life was spirituality. You see, we all have addictions, and some of us of different kinds. You know, Alfred, he was addicted to alcohol and to drugs. My addiction was power, prestige, money. I don't think one is worse than the other, actually, if you think about it. Because you see, anything that takes your mind, your heart away from truth, from light, will limit you ultimately. So many of you here today, as Fletcher said, are glowing with the brilliance of the spirit world. You have souls that are ancient, that are being called. It is no coincidence that you are incarnated upon the earth at this time. Many of you come from the ancient world of Atlantis. You see, my dears, the earth is at a crossroads now, where people are awakening, and they can either choose the light or choose not to go into the light.
Cory Emerson is the youngest professional channeler in the world, and she began her path as a seeker at a young age, progressing to the point that these teachings began to flow through her effortlessly and with complete love and joy, starting at age 16. In the beginning, the wisdom was received for her own evolution and understanding, but after a short time, she was guided to share it with as many people as possible through a book, Teachings from God.
Emerging beyond the unknown, in my own words and my own thoughts, would probably be when we get past our human expression, when we get past our fear, when we get past the illusion of self, and we're able to see beyond the veil, which is what so-called channeling is all about. It's about taking the back seat, letting your human self take the back seat, and letting the higher part of you come through and give guidance. So that's, I mean, in a very, in summary, that's what it means to me. It is an exuberant day. We are excited to be here with you. And of course, we always say this to you because it is always exciting to connect with the higher piece of you that is desiring and filled with purpose, filled with juicy purpose, and excited to grow and to expand into the highest awareness that you possibly can. This is what emerging beyond the unknown truly is. It's being able to draw the curtain and see through it. And that is what it is exactly. The perception that you are separate, the perception that you are not part of this wholeness and this oneness. It is like a pot of soup, and you are a unique, distinct flavor in this pot of soup. And this pot of soup is a metaphor for love, for the creation of all. Emerging beyond this, emerging into this, and through this is about allowing yourself to go where you haven't been before, into the unknown, into this vortex where you separate your human self from this higher part of you. And that is what you do as you come into this body, is you have this separation, you have this ability to blind yourself. And it is really beautiful because what you do is you grow so much. You see in front of you a path And you have this expectation that there is only one, that there is only one destination, that there is only one way to go. And truly, there is so much more to this. And that is why we are so in love with the human being that decides to part those curtains, decides to make a move into the unknown, into this piece of them that they think might not exist. Truly, it does exist. This piece of you that is whole, that is one, that is pure love.
Jim Charles is an incredibly gifted channeler, and he has channeled a plethora of entities from a wide gamut of formats, and he has been viewed very regularly from the Hukalo TV on YouTube, which is a branch of Human Colony that he co-founded. Some of the most popular entities that Jim channels are Tukur and Lakesh, among many, many others.
Beyond belief and beyond the scope of understanding is a lot of things that are happening today. The world is awakening in a brand new way, with a brand new energy and a brand new insight to what we are really all about as a human race, what we're all about as a galactic community, because eventually it is going to happen that we are not alone in this universe, and we are going to be joining our friends, our neighborhood friends in the galaxy as time goes on. Hello, how are you? This is Lakesh. I'm so glad to be here with you tonight. I know that there are people out there listening, and they are wondering what I'm going to say tonight, but I had a great thought today. I was wondering what it would be like to tell you about the galactic and universal prophecies. There are many prophecies, and you have prophecies on your planet. They have prophecies on every other alien planet that I can think of. Because why? Because God works in a way that brings information to people ahead of time. But how can it possibly happen if everyone has free will that prophecies can actually happen? How is this even possible? But it is. Do you know why? Because there are some times in human people's lives, or in aliens' lives, or Pleaidians, or whoever it is, that they give their will over to God. They say, "Dear God, I do not know what to do at this particular time. So therefore, you must decide for me, or help me to decide what I should do." And this way, these ways, prophecies can come true because they are going through people in a special way. Not that he is altering their free will, but he is answering their questions and giving them the blessing of great forethought or great insight of the future, even because their decisions make a difference. So let us start with the universe. God is very old, older than anything. There is no beginning to God because there was always sentience. There was always energy out there. If there was a beginning, there could not be a beginning, because let's describe it this way. If you take a molecule, the tiniest little thing, and cut it in half.
And last but not least, we have Daniel Scranton. Daniel has been a verbal channel since 2010. He has done dozens of live and online group events and private sessions with people from all over the globe. He channels many entities, including some being the creators, the Hathors, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Ophelia the Fairy, the Pleiadian High Council of Seven, Kuan Yin, the Corinthians, and the Unicorn Collective are all entities who have contracted to work with Daniel in guiding us through the exciting and turbulent times that we experience at this time of the shift.
Congratulate you. You guys, while we were doing day one channel panel, Daniel was getting married, so he's a married man now. He also had a birthday this week, so that's just, it's really incredible. So Daniel, congratulations.
Happy marriage.
Yes, it was a great day. It really went off really well. So.
I heard you had a very welcome wedding crasher too.
Yeah.
We are here for you. We are happy and honored to be a part of this gathering. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical entities who you might experience as pure consciousness. We are happy to share with you our perspective on what it means to emerge beyond the unknown. When you consider that last year's channel panel was about awakening from within, this year's topic is all about emerging beyond the unknown. So what does that mean? Well, you all hear about fourth density or the fifth dimension. And you may wonder what it's all about. You may wonder what is there? What is my role? How am I going to emerge into something that I do not even know about yet? How do I prepare myself for that experience? And we say to you that you prepare for it by creating it. You prepare by putting yourself in the frequency state that you want to be in, that is the fullest expression of who and what you really are. And that is how you create something from nothing. That is how you create in the unknown. It's not by cutting out pictures from a magazine and making a vision board. That's creating from the known. That's creating with the third dimensional energies that you've been playing with. And we understand that you all have some third dimensional desires to yet fulfill. And that is perfectly fine. What that does, it keeps you grounded. It keeps you focused and wanting to be in a physical body on planet Earth. So you have your interests in that which is solid, physical, experiential with the five senses. And then you have your interests in going within, in exploring relationships with beings like us, with extraterrestrials, with new technologies and new abilities. So when we talk to you about creating from the unknown, you are utilizing energy.